All right, let's talk about leadership. But for a second, I want you to forget about the fancy job title or the corner office. We're going to look at leadership as a skill, something you can actually practice, the art of influence, and maybe most importantly, the ability to adapt. So let's dive in.
So let me just start by asking you a question. When you hear the word leader, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it someone at the top just giving out orders? Because I've got to tell you, the whole definition of leadership has shifted in a massive way.
And yeah, this right here, this is that shift in a nutshell. Leadership today is moving away from that old command and control style. It's all about influence. It's about inspiring, supporting, and straight up empowering people to unlock what they're truly capable of. That's the big idea we're going to unpack.
Okay, so to make that happen, any great leader needs a kind of playbook, right? So let's break down the essential traits, the real foundation of what it means to be an influential leader right now.
Here are the big ones. First up, lead by example. This one's huge, because what you do will always speak louder than what you say. Next is strong communication, and that's a two-way street. It's not just about talking clearly, it's about listening really well. Then you've got a strengths-based approach, which means you focus on what your team is great at to build them up, instead of just pointing out weaknesses. Of course, you have to have integrity and accountability. I mean, that's the bedrock of all trust. And the glue that holds it all together? Emotional intelligence. You know, that ability to understand what's going on with you and to recognize and influence the emotions of the people around you.
All right, so those traits are kind of the what of leadership. But every action a leader takes, well, it's driven by a deeper why. It's guided by an underlying philosophy. Let's look at a couple of the big ones to see exactly what I mean.
So check this out. On one side, you have transformational leadership. This is all about painting a big, exciting picture of the future and getting everyone fired up to make it happen. But then, on the other side, you've got servant leadership, which totally flips the script. In this model, the leader's #1 job is to serve the team, to clear the path so they can do their best work. See how different they are? The key takeaway here is that your philosophy really does shape everything you do.
Okay, so you've got the traits, you've thought about your philosophy, but now for the really important part. How do you actually use all this stuff in the real world, where things are messy and always changing? Well, this is where adaptability becomes your absolute superpower.
And the key to that is a framework called situational leadership. Now, this idea was actually developed way back in 1969 by Paul Hersey, but its genius is how simple and flexible it is. It basically throws out the idea that there's one best way to lead. Instead, it gives you a way to match your style to the specific person and the specific task you're dealing with.
All right, take a good look, because this model right here is the heart of the whole thing. See how it maps it all out? Along the bottom, you've got the person's development level, from just starting out to being a total pro. And then on the side, you see the leader's behavior. The model gives us 4 different styles to choose from, depending on where someone is on that journey.
Let's start with S1, directing. Okay, imagine you've got a new team member. They're super enthusiastic, really excited, but they don't have the skills yet. This is where you come in with clear, specific instructions. You're high on direction, but low on support, because the main goal right now is just building their competence. Bottom line, directing is all about providing clarity.
So what happens next? Well, we move to S2, coaching. Your team member is starting to get it. They're willing, they're learning, but they're not quite ready to fly solo. So you keep the direction high, but now you start to ramp up the supportive behavior too, to build up their confidence. You're not just telling them what to do, you're explaining why and guiding them. Coaching, it's all about building a connection.
Next up, S3, supporting. Now picture this. Your team member has the skills. They know how to do the job, but maybe they're a little hesitant, or they just lack the confidence to go it alone. So what do? You pull way back on the directing, but you keep the support high. Your job is to be their sounding board, to build them up and help them trust their own abilities. Supporting is all about building confidence.
And that brings us to our final style, S4, delegating. This is for that person who is not only fully capable, but also highly confident. They are self-sufficient, ready to go, and here, your job as a leader is actually pretty simple. You can be low on direction and low on support. You just delegate the task, get out of their way, and let them take ownership. Delegating, at its core, is all about trust.
So when you put it all together, what does it really mean? It means true leadership isn't about having just one style. It's about being a chameleon. It's about having 4 distinct styles in your toolkit and knowing exactly which one to pull out for the right person at the right time. So I'll leave you with this one question to really think about. Based on everything they're facing, who does your team need you to be today?